Honourable Marama Davidson.
Mr. Speaker, Palestinian people have hopes and dreams. Palestinian families want to feed and care for their children. Palestinians want joy, and Palestinian children have told us they want to live, Mr. Speaker, but the state of Israel is committing genocide in Gaza against the Palestinians, and it is just plainly wrong. There are no justifications for the blatant murder and slaughter and starvation and rape and femicide that Israel is committing. That's right. The United Nations rapporteur in their report has stated that Israel, and I quote, is deliberately killing Palestinian women and girls with the intent to destroy them and the continuity of the Palestinian people, Mr. Speaker, to wipe out whakapapa lines. That is femicide. According to those estimates, women and girls account for 67% of the Palestinians killed by the 9th of July. Mr. Speaker, what more does this government need to take action? There are no justifications for genocide. There should be no conditionals for calling to an end to genocide. So the Greens are calling on this government to affirm Palestinian statehood now, to support our bill to sanction Israel and to support special visas for Palestinians wanting to flee to safety. And not just every day, but every hour of delay costs lives, Mr. Speaker. Today we got from the Prime Minister's government a weak source statement, and it was so weak source, I'll read it out. It says something about we might consider, we might have a look. It says that New Zealand expresses the willingness or the positive consideration of our countries to recognise the state of Palestine. What on earth is that? How much more weak sauce can you get? What more does this government need to show leadership, to send a clear message to Israel that Palestine deserves its independent statehood, that this is the only true way to enduring peace and the justice that is deserved for the people of Palestine? Mr. Speaker, this is actually about the humanity and decency of our world. This is about recognising that a world for all our mokopuna to be safe requires us to protect the mokopuna of Gaza right now. And more and more and more countries around the world are finally stepping up, finally seeing a backbone, finally after years and years of murder and slaughter and inhumane killing that happened long before that October date that everyone tries to pin the starting point of this genocide on, which is just incorrect. It is just a historical fallacy. So, Mr. Speaker, where is the backbone of Aotearoa and our government to step up and be a voice for the mokopuna of Gaza, for the mokopuna of the world, to say no? How can we let this continue before our very eyes? How can we create a world that allows for this to happen before our very eyes? New Zealand, I thought, was stronger than that. New Zealand, I thought, had a vision to be independent and stand on our own 2 feet for just what is right, what has to happen right now. And I am proud of the Greens, even right back in 2021, putting in this very House a notice on motion to call for this country to recognise the statehood of Palestine. And Mr. Speaker, we continue to support the activists around this country who show up every day, every weekend, in big and small communities everywhere, putting their voices, their livelihoods on the line because they know whatever suffering and challenge that we are facing here is nothing compared to the very real plight of what is happening to humans. And despite what Israel has tried to do to dehumanise them, to rob them of their mana and their dignity, people around the world and around our communities know these are humans that we are talking about. These are our fellow humans, our people. The globe connects us all. Just like the tsunami in Russia today that is starting to threaten to come down to Japan and then to have an impact on the west coast of our shores. That is how we are connected. Our humanity is supposed to connect us all. Our decency relies on us to be accountable, Mr. Speaker, and I stand in this House today for a free Palestine.
The Honourable Marama Davidson.
Mr. Speaker, in 2015, in France, millions and millions of people rallied, including world leaders, including Benjamin Netanyahu, rallied in France against the, yes, deplorable killings of journalists and cartoonists working at Charlie Hebdo. Millions and millions rallied, standing up for freedom of speech. Mr. Speaker, since October 23 in Gaza, between 192 and 270 journalists have been killed for trying to express what is happening in Gaza. 90 journalists have been imprisoned. 132 journalists have been injured for trying to relay an issue of global importance to all of us, the truth, for trying to express not just freedom of speech, but the truth, and in the context of Israel not permitting or allowing any journalists into the region. Who covers up? What do those actions spell when a state won't allow any journalists to see what they are doing? The inhumanity and the atrocities that Israel is committing and has been committing for so long. And right now, mokopuna in Gaza need all of us in this House to find a backbone. Mokopuna in Gaza need everyone in this House to find their courage, to stand up and demand that our government play its role in defending humanity. What kind of world are we bringing our mokopuna into if we don't use every mite of our decency and responsibility and do our jobs to call Israel's violence and genocide to account, like many the world over are already doing, including the traditional allies and countries that we are supposed to align with? Where are our backbones, Mr. Speaker, for standing up? I cannot desire a world for my own mokopuna where it is possible for a state to murder anyone else's mokopuna. That is offensive to my own mokopuna, to whānau everywhere, Mr. Speaker. So no, we will not be apologising for the language that we use in this House to hold this government to account. Mr. Speaker, we are proud of standing up and using our voice and our platform. People are exhausted every week around the world for at least the past 2 years. Activists on the ground, that is where the backbone and leadership is. They are the millions around the world from all level of communities who have been calling power to account. How can we let this pass, their murderous agenda? How can we let them just feel like they have a right to murder journalists for trying to express and share this truth? More journalists have been killed in the Gaza war than in the US Civil War, World Wars I and II, the Korean War, Vietnam Wars, the wars in the former Yugoslavia, post-9/11 war in Afghanistan combined, Mr. Speaker. That is appalling, but that is exactly the indication of Israel wanting to keep a lid on their savage murder, on their genocide. We will not apologise for asking for every MP to show some backbone, and we will continue to call for sanctions against a country who are destroying humanity for all of us in every single country, in every single community across the entire planet because of the past that they are receiving. If we allow this to go unanswered for, we are endangering the humanity of the globe down to our very own communities for every single one of us. I am proud of my colleague Chloe Swarbrick for sticking to her truth, to our truth, to the truth of activists all around the world, for the truth of the genocide that is happening in Gaza.